and second on board of the USPC.
Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Navarre. Here. Tomer. Here. Martin.
Here.
Hoover. Here. Chanel.
Here.
And please. No statement at this time. We need a motion to approve the agenda.
So move.
We gotta make one correction to the minutes.
What do we got, Tim?
Danielle was not present with us on February 4th.
Oh, jeez, I keep doing that.
That's all right. I'm always here. Zach had surgery that day, though.
Not trying to tell you out, Sam, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, man.
Motion to approve with the amendments in the minutes.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those approved, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion is carried. Public statement regarding current agenda items only. Next up is the consent agenda, and that is where the minutes were amended.
Sorry. Here, adjust it.
So move.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. No unfinished business. Moving on to the new business. Items for introduction. Public hearing for proposed 2025-2026 fiscal year budget. We will need a motion to enter public hearing.
Make a motion to enter public hearings. 7:31.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. We'll do a roll call vote, please. Navarre?
Yes.
Tomer? Yes. Martin?
Yes.
Hoover? Yes. Chanel?
Yes.
Deacon?
Yes.
Motion carries. Tom, would you like to present our new budget?
Sure. It has been posted in the minutes. It's been posted, it's been online, and it's been at the front of the office here. Revenues, I have projected down this next year from where we were. Next year they'll be down where we were this year. Some marijuana licensing will be not being renewed. I think it's about 60,000, I'm guessing at this point. So it's the hard part. But a lot of these revenues are being projected pretty conservatively, so pretty low end, just to be safe. The general fund, big projects that we've talked about. The biggest one is going to be removal of the amphitheater. Put away about $110,000 for that, along with some removal of some of the exterior buildings around it. Total cost I have budgeted there, total price is about $135,000 to do that. We'd have to bid it out still, so I don't know the exact price. There's some permitting that we would need to do. We also have something in there, $15,000 to digitize all the village's ordinances, to get them online and searchable, so somebody who's looking for an ordinance can go online and look for them. I know it sounds like a lot of money. It is a lot of money. Our current system is not ideal. It's hard to find ordinances. Since 2012, we've been loading them all online, at least onto the village drive, so I can pull them up. If you can tell me the year, I can probably find it. Then we have a cabinet full of thousands of pieces of paper of ordinances dating back to the Stone Age. So all those would be scanned and digitized and searchable. They also look for redundancies, anything that might not be legal anymore. It is the company that does it has attorneys that do this work. So it's pretty extensive. It takes a long time and a lot of work. I'd be relying on some part-time office help that we already have to do most of the scanning. It's just gonna be scanning for, days.
and days.
Is that the
Very
price
easy.
of cost though?
So, there's 15,000 is the cost, and then it's a couple $1,000 a year after that for maintenance.
But the 15, well, I should get everything in the book.
Should get everything put up and good to go.
That's not so
And then
bad.
we're gonna have a whole bunch of homework when they're done.
It was long,
because,
bigger than
like
that,
you
only
said,
30
they're gonna
last
give us.
time.
Yeah.
There are some year two costs, I'm sorry, year two costs, 15,000 the first year, 8 to 12, depending on where we're at that second year. So this is a commitment for multiple years. And then $2,000, $3,000 a year after that. The projection on the general fund is that we'll have $38,512 left at the end of the budget. If all this, this is where we end up. We have discussed maybe not doing some exterior building removals, to have that 25,000, to save. And next year, we would have to really cut any big projects that we want to do in the park. The general fund needs to be built back up, so, and we'll go over that when we do budget adjustments, for this year. Major street fund, recommendation for major streets is that we set aside $60,000 for engineering and for preparation of the Safe Routes to School grant, and $30,000 for tree removal. We're projecting an excess of revenue over expenditures of $34,821 in the major street fund. So no major street projects other than putting money away for Safe Routes to School. That'll be a 2-year thing until we can. Total engineering on that is going to be about $200,000. Once that's done, we'll have $850,000 worth of work done. So it still seems like a net positive, and that's the work we want done. Local streets, $60,000 for sidewalks, for Safe Routes to School. Also $40,000 to repave the cul-de-sac and Sunnyside subdivision. That would be the only work, really, street work that we'd be doing this year.
That also fixes the drainage, correct?
Correct. So, that's based on a price that I got this year. It's a little higher than what that price was that I got, so hopefully it leaves the wiggle room. But that would repave that cul-de-sac and fix the grading issue, things like that. Excess revenue over expenditures, $128,935. We're still saving money to do a big project, the next 3 or 4 years, if we can keep that growing. Sewer fund, $40,000 for new equipment at the wastewater treatment plant. This is for lab equipment, replacement pumps, digesters, etc. No muffin monster this year. We've already got a muffin monster. So, on the distribution side, $40,000 for new equipment, including pumps and other items. We're projecting an $11,342 excess in revenue over expenditures. Water fund, we do $45,000 for localized water system maintenance and valve, such as valve and hydrant replacement. So $45,000 gets us any combination of 3 valves and hydrant replacement. So it's going to be valves. I think next year will be the goal. We've been fixing hydrants. We've been doing real good on that.
How many are you down to now that need to be repaired?
I'd have to look at the list, but we've been knocking out. We did, I think, 10 in the last 2 years. So I'd have to look at my list. I don't want to say a number because I don't know it for sure. But we have some valves that need help, especially on the north side of town. South side, we can pretty much maintain any breaks on the south side right now. Our side is just old, and a lot of broken valves. We also have budgeted $20,000 for new equipment and non-capitalized assets such as hydrant flushers and chemical solution tanks. We're projecting just over $101,000 in excess of revenues over expenditures. It's a high number. We have a lot of projects coming up. That money is going to go towards. We got to build a fund to fund these projects for water main replacements and things like that are coming up in the next 5 years. Equipment fund. we would get a new DPW work truck at a cost of $40,000. We're replacing the 1999 pickup truck that we have currently in the fleet. We're going to retire that truck. It's worked for us for a long time, but we don't have. We retired this year. We don't have to buy it a watch for its 25th anniversary. So. Also $9,000 for a new trailer and rigid machine, and we're projecting $25,000, just over $25,000 excess revenues over expenditures.
What's the rigid machine? Pipe threader?
I have it listed, written down. We had one and it broke, but yeah. So that's the budget. I've included every account in here. If you want to look through that, it's a heck of a lot of people say my budgeting is like Tolkien's work, you know, or just riveting to read. So.
Great. I love listening to it.
And then on the, you'll see the fee schedule. Anything that has been changed has been marked in yellow. Two of them at the top, ORV registration and vehicle impound fee, those are potential ordinances. I just added it in there in case they do get passed, so you can take a look at those. First big change is water and sewer connection fees. In the past, we've charged $1,500 for water, $2,000 for sewer. We used to do the work, we would saw into it ourselves, the DPW work. We don't do that work anymore. We hire it out. So instead of charging somebody a number and then them paying for a contractor, we've lowered that fee to $500 for each tap, and then plus whatever the cost is from the contractor. So we ran into an issue where somebody got charged both things, plus the contractor cost, and the cost was incredible for them. We didn't charge them that, so we did it right, but we want to avoid that situation. We don't have the saw anymore to cut into the pipes, and it's just better to have a contractor do it that can handle that kind of work. A little bit easier than our guys. Storm sewer connection fees down to $250 plus the cost. Water consumption charge has gone up. We've not raised this fee in multiple years. It would go up to $7.25 per unit, and we have dropped the capital improvement charge, which was $4 and some change every month, and we've just worked it into the bill. Plus, we've raised the rate, so that's an increase of 25%. This is all based on the rate study that we had Baker Tilly do. So it was $5.80. You were paying a capital improvement charge. You're no longer paying that fee, and it's $7.25 per unit. On the sewer side, based on Baker Tilly's recommendation, it's gone up 20% to $17.78 per unit. There's also no capital improvement charge on the sewer side as well, so that fee is dropped. But the sewer per unit has increased by 20%. The readiness to serve has also gone up 20%, and that's based on your meter size. So all houses are, on that low charge. Some businesses have bigger meters, so they'll have a bigger readiness to serve charge. And then the trash, our garbage pickup and recycling is on the next page. That has gone up, and that's all contract based with Grainger. So it's gone up to $22.83 a month. It was $21 and some change last year. So that's the budget.
Anybody have any comments, discussion?
What's the paper you do? What's this?
We'll be there next. That's the budget adjustments for this year.
I like the idea of holding on the building removal to save 25%.
Yep.
Those aren't quite sinking into the ground.
No.
No, and it was just something, when we talked to, you were there, right? No, sorry, Rod is now. Yeah, it was just discussion. If there was room in the budget, then we would try to do it because everybody was going to be there. The price would be lower. We won't have to call a contractor back. So it was just discussion. We aren't 100% set in stone that we're going to rip them all out yet.
No, but I think the smaller ones, the DPW probably do themselves.
Sure.
If you let me run the excavator.
Yeah. We were just trying to be, since the contractor wouldn't be on that position.
If there's no comment, we'll need a motion to exit public hearing.
I'll make a motion that we exit at 7:45. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to exit public hearing. We'll do a roll call vote, please.
Navarre,
Yes.
Tomer,
Yes.
Lerner,
Yes.
Hoover,
Yes.
Chanel,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Thank you. Next up, items for action, resolution 2025-01, adopt fiscal year 2025-2026 budget. We will need a motion to approve.
I make a motion to approve, or make a motion for resolution 2025-1, adopting our fiscal year 25-26 budget.
support,
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, 2024-25 budget adjustment recommendation.
So that's that paper that you have in front of you, those two packets that I handed out. Every year the auditor goes through and makes final budget adjustments. The budget ends in 10 days from now, so February 28th is the last day. So these forms, and this paperwork shows you his recommended adjustments, and where we will end up. So originally, we were going to end up with $18,141 left in the general fund. We ended up minus $149,605. That's a difference of $746. So what that means is, with revenues, actually we're higher. We spent more than what we had budgeted last year. 80,000 of it was that building being removed by the stoplight. Other things were insurance costs went up, employee costs went up. Other things were more expensive. The parking lot is on here. That parking lot we redid for $76,000. So it's a difference of $167,000. Like I said, $746. These are the recommended changes. Once they're voted on, we can, the accountant can make the changes, and then we can get the audit started for this last year.
We will need a motion to approve these recommended budget adjustments.
So, these aren't cuts.
No, so these are for this fiscal year that ends, February 28th, 2025. They go back and look at everything that was spent and where the adjustments should be made. And these are the adjustments. So like, where it says B&G materials and supplies, it says minus 18,000. That means I budgeted 18,000 too much. So they would take 18,000 out of it to move it somewhere else. Where it says general government professional services, 76,000, that was under budgeted, or that we didn't budget enough in that location for the work that we did. So those are, the ending adjustment is at 167,000 and some change.
So I see K9 Care Home, 5,000.
Yep, so that's saying that I budgeted $5,000 too little for K9 home care.
What did you budget it for this year?
It's in there, $5,000, I think.
that's in the new contract too, isn't it?
Nothing in this contract, no. Their wages are in there, but not anything. I actually lowered it to $2,000 this year.
make a motion that we, do the 2024-25 budget adjustments. Recommendation.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to approve the 2024-2025 budget adjustment recommendations. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have Nick Stoddard is requesting the closure of M57 between Front and Wood Streets from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on July 12th for the annual car show.
Just like, how it reads, annual car show. They want us, to close the highway down.
And we've done every year since, before I was born.
I make a motion to approve Nick Stoddard's request to close M52, M57, sorry guys. I was looking at the date, on July 12th for the annual car show. Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have a set public hearing date for the disorderly house ordinance, looking to target March 18th, 2025.
We talked about the ordinance for a while. It's an ordinance that'll help us keep a better eye on houses that are problem houses, repeat problem houses. You can get the specifics from the ordinance, but I'll post it as soon as the public hearing is set. I'll post it online and it'll be in the front. So this is just to set the public hearing for March 18th.
Motion to set the public hearing for disorderly house ordinance for March 18th of 2025.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, we have set public hearing for vehicle impound key ordinance, for March 18th, 2025.
Currently, we don't have, we do not collect any fees for impounding vehicles, even though there is admin work and officers' time. This would set a rate of, we have it at $150 right now. Chief and I have discussed maybe it's a little high, but we can discuss a number and figure out a number, when it comes to that public hearing. But this will help us recoup our costs for impounding vehicles. Instead of being at the taxpayer's dime, it's at a vehicle that was impounded, that owner's dime. This isn't just for a car that breaks down on the side of the road either. This is for somebody who has done something against the law and has lost their vehicle. So we're not targeting high school kids with this.
Motion to set public hearing for the vehicle impound fee ordinance on March 18th of 2025.
Support. Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Saginaw future contract renewal, what is the fee on that, Tom?
$1,200.
$1,200. They do give us quite a bit of information and services, I believe, and ever since we've been a member.
Saginaw Future's whole goal is to keep business and bring business to Saginaw County. That's how they're funded, and some municipalities and fundraising, things like that.
Hopefully they can help us find something.
Paper replacement would be nice.
Yes.
They're my first phone call when that went down, so.
I'll make a motion to Saginaw future contract renewal.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up is the hometown decorations and display contract renewal. These are the people that put up our holiday lights.
$2,565 is the cost.
Is there a way to attempt to lock it in for, say, 3 years at that pricing? I mean, is there a way that they would be open to doing a multi-year contract? Because we do it every year, so is there a way maybe lock in pricing or guarantee like 3 years?
I have to ask you.
I mean, we haven't moved away from them. We've used the same people, the same everything every year. So I'm thinking like the internet fees, if we can lock it in for 3 years, is there potentially a benefit to guaranteeing some long-term for both sides?
Do we pay for that, or is it DDA? I thought the DDA paid for it.
We currently pay for this.
Cause I remember when we do the brackets on for the flags, we
That's
go
the
with DDA.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I think this is something we should build a DDA for. sure.
It wouldn't, yeah, I mean, it is the DDA.
We have been paying for it, but I would say this is something to go to DDA for.
Have we approached them or anything about it?
No, but we can't, we'd still have to send the contract. We would have to send it, but
I mean, really, they're all the same, they're all our bank accounts. Yeah.
But Mike and I can bring it up at the next meeting.
Do you wanna make a motion to table this for later, and see if we can get a 3-year contract?
It's, I mean,
We don't need this contract signed tonight, correct?
is it worthwhile?
Worth asking.
Okay, well, then I will motion to table the hometown decorations and display contract for attempting to get some years or length on the contract.
Anybody else support that? Support. Motion been made, supported, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up, committee reports, infrastructure,
Nothing.
finance and admin, public safety, no meeting, DDA.
Oh, they canceled the last meeting. Came from the-
Chamber had a meeting, they did their election of officers, started talking about the events for this coming year. Sounds like they're gonna have the same events, maybe expand on them a little bit. A lot of cool stuff coming. Nothing in the immediate future, it's too cold. Planning commission,
Next week, we should be voting on our,
Voting and setting a public hearing on the master plan.
oh wait, stop.
report,
Not yet.
no meeting. Firework,
Had 7 runs in the past week and a half, bringing a total to 23. The blood drive on February 5th and 6th out of the fire department, they said it was one of the best ones they ever had. They had 22 on Thursday with 18 whole bloods being there. And then on Friday they had 19, which was 16 whole bloods, bringing a total of 41 pints they got. So, the best they had. Next Tuesday, some of us from the fire department will be going to Saginaw to that pipeline training from all the gas line people that's got lines through the state of Michigan. They'll be putting on a seminar, and then you sit there, and then they break us up in groups, and then we have to do a scenario of different types of fires and then what to do. That starts at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. The fire board meeting last Wednesday, we got recommendations, adjustments for the budget. Ours is April 1st, so next month on February 12th, we will be doing our adjustments. Like I said, everything's gone up and that. We do think we're going to have a balance, and what they're going to do with that balance is put it in the truck fund to build it up. We have it over to Mercantile Bank. We get a higher interest rate over there, and it's been really good to us the last 6 months that we had it over there. And that's it.
thanks, Phil. Task force,
No meeting.
parks committee,
The meeting.
next, public statement, does not appear that we have any. Council member statements.
No, just keep in mind, tomorrow is the high school bowling team going to regionals.
Good, guys. Alright, next up, village staff reports, police chief. New police.
Chief man.
Right on. I gave what, 30 minutes? Is that
30 seconds.
Okay.
Elevator speech, here we go.
Alright. So, for those who hadn't known me prior to this, or haven't had a chance to meet me yet, my name is Tori, and I am the new police chief. I'm a 1990 graduate of the high school here. All 3 of my sons graduated from high school here. Heck, my mom graduated in 1965.
Yep.
Who knows that? In case you haven't heard, I come to you by way of the Michigan State Police. Primarily, that is where I spent most of my career. I'm sneaking up on 3 decades in law enforcement now. And I'm going to bring some MSP things here. I promised the guys I wasn't going to go all MSP on them, because that scares some officers off. But the things I want to bring here from the MSP are accountability to my officers and to the community, setting standards, and professionalism. One of the things I really want to bring that I took from the MSP. And transparency is going to be big for me. I've talked to Mr. Eppenho, we're going to be looking at putting some of our policies on our webpage, so any citizen can look at our policies. Certainly there are policies that we don't want people to see, response to bomb threats, or use of force, things like that, but there are certain policies that there's no reason the general public couldn't just access them online. And I'm also getting ready to go live here. I have a public forum at Big Rock Cafe, and even one of them big cinnamon rolls when I was in there, I asked them to not feed the bear. But, I have that coming up on the 26th, and so after that, I'm gonna bring that up at that public forum. Hopefully, I have a lot of turnout. But I will be putting a citizen complaint form on the webpage that can be downloaded, filled out, signed, and dropped in the lockbox outside here that only I have access to. So if someone has a complaint about one of my officers, I want to know about it right away, so we can correct the issue or even see if there is an issue, because sometimes people just get angry. And I've learned that over a long story career. So, do you have any other questions for me or anything? I'm as available as I can be. I live just outside of town, so I should be here most of the meetings, so if you guys ever have any issues or anything, that's what I'm here for.
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Administrator report.
Short and sweet, the village, we're gonna be launching a new service, that when you opt into it, you can receive text alerts from the village office for things like garbage pickup delays, water bill due dates, road closure, updates. Really, the list is endless. You have to go on the website, opt in, and then we can start texting alerts and things like that to residents. We're hoping to have it running by early March, and the service is called Text My Gov. But it's pretty cool what you can do with it. You can expand from there. We're gonna do a slow rollout of this, so take it real basic and see how it works. But it seems like it can do a lot of cool things. But just slow start with it. I think it'll be a cool service that we're gonna offer. So
Nice.
and that's it.
Good, Tom. Next up, work session. Does anybody have any marijuana ordinance discussion?
How's the filtration, complete?
I got pictures of work being done last week, and Rob is gonna go out there when it's complete, and
That's the right one left here.
it should be good.
Nice.
Motion adjourned.
Support.
Motion's been made and supported to adjourn. All those in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You're adjourned.
Somehow it felt like an hour, and it was 32 minutes.